Welcome to the Chewn Fat podcast, where real topics are discussed by fake individuals with fake opinions. Even if it's the host or the guest, don't take them seriously. And if you do get offended, guess what? Shit happens. Leave it below in the comment section. Let's roll. Talking about somebody who thinks they know every damn thing, but might not know shit sometimes. And it's hard for me to even say that because the person knows a lot about what they're saying. I think where they're coming from is a place of probably a little bit of spite and probably even a little bit of jealousy. All right, so we got a clip we're going to play in right here. Right. And then me and my brother Dan DeVille, as we are embarking on the very first game of the season, which is the Hall of Fame game coming up this Thursday, I believe. We're going to talk about Cam Newton because Ryan Clark been giving Cam Newton the business. Matter of fact, Ryan Clark been standing up on a couple of mountains where he been giving people business. On Angel Reese, he been defending that. He been giving Cam the business, and rightfully so. So we're going to play this clip, then me and my brother Dan DeVille going to dive into this list.
Joe Burrow. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. Number 1, Josh Allen.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You contradicted yourself twice.
So here it is as it stands. Cam Newton's top 10 list. Now, brother, before I read this list, if you do know, if you've paid attention through the years of us knowing each other and being brothers, who is my favorite team? Who's the team that
Tampa.
All right, so who's the quarterback?
Baker. I see him at number 10.
Who's my keeper in fantasy?
Baker,
right? But I got a problem with this shit, Baker at 10.
Yeah. Tank. Move.
I got a problem with Baker Mayfield being at 10, which we'll get there.
Right.
Next quarterback on this list is Justin Herbert. And matter of fact, let's just go down the list. Let's just go ahead and start with Baker. I want to say this because the big problem here is Jalen Hurts has been not even omitted. He hasn't been considered for Cam Newton and several other talking heads, but specifically Cam Newton because that's where we are. So on this list, Jalen Hurts is not even a top 10 quarterback according to Cam. Now, I'm also going to say you got to always keep in mind the messenger, right? Because Cam Newton is also the guy who said he doesn't go to strip clubs for the ladies. He goes to strip clubs to make the men feel bad about them not being able to spend as much money as he has. So right there is a little bit of a haterade, super haterade in your fly. I've never been to any strip club to be concerned about how a man gonna feel at the strip club.
Man,
never.
That's like going to the car lot to buy the most expensive shit and you ain't got no license.
You ain't got no right. Why are we doing this? That's pointless. So, all right. So we're gonna start with Baker.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw it back and forth on each one of these quarterbacks. I'll say how I feel about it, then you go ahead and go in Danville, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
So Baker Mayfield, top 10 quarterback. Definitely, I don't think Baker Mayfield should be on the top 10 list. If there ever was a spot to be filled there, it definitely could have been Jalen Hurts, but I still don't even think Jalen Hurts is at 10 according to where his list is. But we're going to be with Baker. First of all, I will say this. There seems to always be a double standard of reasons given for a quarterback not to be at their full expected potential based on situations in the organization or their coaching staff. Baker Mayfield is a quarterback that is a product of that situation. People always give Baker the excuse or the reason of, okay, he didn't have consistent coaching. He went from Cleveland to Panthers to Tampa Bay, and then Baker had a wonderful season to me last season. It wasn't great. It was wonderful. He really showed up. He showed out and showed up, but how many of those seasons has Baker had? So this is the reason he gets. So if Baker gets that reason, then I got to wonder, then Cam, why is it that Jalen Hurts can't be in 10 when technically since his college career, he's had a different OC every step of the way, even up to his pros. And he still has managed to go to 2 Super Bowls, damn near win 2, but he made a mistake. He takes credit for it. Go to this next Super Bowl, 2024, beat the shit out of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Obliterate him.
But he's not in 10? Okay. So that's how I feel about it 10 with Baker Mayfield, brother. Where are you at that?
Brother, I think Baker Mayfield is he's a salvage middle of the pack quarterback. Okay,
I like how you said that. Say that again. I like how you said that.
A salvageable middle of the pack quarterback. He's that quarterback that's gonna fall somewhere between 12 and 18.
I agree.
You know, he's not a world beater, but he's gonna win you games, and he's got heart. He's gonna win you games with his heart. You know,
Big facts.
he ain't a big fella. You know, he's a leader.
Facts. He is.
You know, he's got that type of makeup. He's by no means a top 10 quarterback. Cam Newton, many things that if we listen to him evaluate players, especially quarterbacks, I don't understand what his baseline is. You know, it appears to me that a lot of his analysis of quarterbacks is skewed by personal interaction with that particular player. So I can't take it. Well, I take it for what it's worth.
Okay.
You know, he's a black quarterback that's hating. He's a black quarterback that didn't win the Super Bowl. That's hating on the black quarterback that did win the Super Bowl
And being twice.
Right. You know, so I don't understand that. You know, that's a big problem I have with Cam.
Okay.
You know, but on Baker, yeah, 12 to 18.
Okay.
You know, maybe they friends, maybe they golf in the off season.
And this is what I will say. I will also say that Cam has a big criticism on himself from the decision he made in the game. And y'all can go back and watch this.
Pick the ball up, Cam.
The ball on the ground.
Get on the ball.
Pivotal time. Cam literally goes and then chooses to retreat and back out. It's on camera.
Shout it out.
Now I'm just saying, Cam, that ain't Superman-esque. You know,
business move. That was Clark Kent. That's a business move.
That was Clark Kent. That was Superman. All right, so then coming in at 9, we got Justin Herbert. You want to take that one first, brother, and I'll come up on the damn back door. I got you on that one,
brother Justin Herbert. I see potential for him to be a top 10 quarterback, but again, he landed in the right spot, so I'm in agreement with that. He's that 9 to 12 set, you know. Okay. So I can agree with the variance there. He's a 9 quarterback. He did well with Ladd last year. You know, with some of the tools that he has. I like how Harbaugh's getting him to buy into that program and really adjust. To what their scheme is, what it is that they're gonna do. I like that because initially with him coming into the league, he was all over the place.
Okay.
For the most part. So I like the stability. I like to call that 9 for him. I'm a 9 and 10 on him.
Okay, you're a 9 and 10 on him.
I got him just above Tua.
Okay. I would say that in every one of my takes, is on my perspective is going to be, okay, where am I with 9 versus Justin Hurts if he's not on here? And this is what I would say. Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert is now approaching he's not approaching, he is here. He is in a realm that T-Law is, Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. He's in a realm where Tua is. Mm-hmm. He's in a realm where Kyler Murray is. Mm-hmm. And that realm is the potential that we thought you had has not been realized yet, and when will that happen? And Justin Herbert is that quarterback. Okay? Yeah. When are you going to be able to do the things that we thought you would be able to do with a team, and you've had players around you, you've had the coaches around you? When is that going to happen? And again, we come to the situation where people had criticism on Jalen Hurts, especially coming out of Alabama, especially people having more stock invested in Tua over Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts has went further. And Justin Herbert I don't even think Justin Herbert's won a playoff game. I don't know if he's won I think maybe one. Maybe. He's won one playoff game, so it's one you count on one hand. I can look it up and see, but I know he's not done that. So we're talking about a quarterback whose potential we're still waiting to see, this guy that everybody thought they were supposed to see, and it's not there yet. And he's at 9, and Jalen Hurts isn't on this list at all. So so far we got two quarterbacks on here that are less accomplished, that have had probably just as much opportunity. We got a Heisman Trophy winner who has not yet just now finally had a season where we like, damn, okay, he balled out. And mind you, we talking about we're still talking about Baker Mayfield was in a very, very lackluster division there. All right, conference there. We're talking about Baker Mayfield had Mr. 10,000, Mike Evans. I understand Mike Evans going to go out and come out. We still talking about he had a good coaching staff. We're still talking about solid wide receivers. We're still talking about solid running backs. We're talking about solid defense.
Right.
So I'm just saying, people, that here we are at 9, and Jalen Hurts is still not on here. So now we're going to 8. And C.J. Stroud, I'm born and raised Texas, so I like, what they got going on there.
Right.
But this is this is again where I'm fucking lost. This is where Ryan Clark's like, how do you get in if Jalen Hurts is not in and these quarterbacks are in? What, just like Brother Dan DeVille said, I'm puzzled to what your standards are to make this list.
What's your benchmark, man?
Yeah,
what are we basing this on?
What are we basing this on? Now, C.J. Stroud is a baller, very high IQ for quarterback. This is going to be his 3rd season. He just finished having a sophomore slump. Valid though. Wide receiver room pretty much decimated for the year. Okay, he lost Nico, lost Tank Dell, Will Anderson.
Tank
on
may
the
not be
defensive
back
side.
this year.
Right, might not even be back this year. Stephon Diggs gone. Running back Joe Mixon got nicked for a portion of it. Right, he dealt with a lot of adversity and still went into the playoffs, which we can criticize some of the other quarterbacks on this list.
They ain't made
it. That might be higher than him or didn't make it. So I don't have a big quarrel with C.J. Stroud there, but I do still, it's like, okay, well, it's the accomplishments, okay? All that, there's no way C.J. Stroud's here and Jalen Hurts shouldn't be. Because there's nothing that C.J. Stroud has accomplished that Jalen Hurts hasn't.
It's personal, brother.
And this is where this list this is extremely where this list starts falling apart, because then how do you feel about Stroud on here versus Jalen Hurts still not being on here yet? Because I'm just going to keep it real. As I'm going from 10 down, because I feel like if Baker's at 10 and as we go, I was thinking that we would see Jalen Hurts later down and closer to number 1, but we don't. So how are you with C.J. Stroud being on the list?
I'm there with the CJ pick. The boys made some. A young man. He's made some consistent strides year over year.
For sure.
Again, like you said, last year it's football. There's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
You lose both of your top wide receivers. Right. Joe Mixon in and out last year. He's gonna be in and out again this year with them. With them bad ankles. CJ doesn't make many ridiculous mistakes.
No, he doesn't.
He's very well poised. So I like the pick there. What I'm starting to see, though, however, with Cam Newton's projections on these players, every black quarterback that's on there that he seemed to have an affinity for, they quarterbacks that he can always stand above them and say, well, I was Heisman. I was Mr. Superman. I made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
First team every year, Pro Bowl, boom. He can say that. He can big dog them.
Right.
Come here, let me show you something.
That's a good point.
Jalen Hurts, you can't tell. He can't tell him a damn thing. Right. But he may tell you, don't park that piece of shit next to me. Super Bowl winners over here on it. That's what he may say.
Right.
That's what I'm noticing on this list. And again, there's no benchmark, so I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. But since I have to lean to my own devices, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. All right. So then we can just go ahead and pretty much couple 8 and 7 together, Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud. I think Jaden Daniels just kind of coming off a C.J. Stroud-esque season, probably a little bit more accomplished there, and did probably more with a little bit less coming into a franchise that was just as bad as the Texans were when C.J. got there. And this is where those two players being on this list and thinking about what they've done, when we get to a certain quarterback, there's going to be a lot of flack that I might get for some of my criticisms on that quarterback, but it is what it is.
Who?
Jared Goff at 6.
Man, stop.
And man, this shit right here just gets bad. Jared Goff at 6. This is a quarterback who, if he plays tag, his ass is falling apart. I'm going to give Jared Goff his props for, he came in, he did some things that happened.
Great season.
Great season.
Nothing
But
away from it.
overall, his career is nothing to be gloating about. Now,
No.
and I'm going to say this because I don't want people to get this the wrong way. I like the Jared Goff story as I like other quarterback stories and people who had the chip stacked against them and then overachieved. That I give it to him. But we're talking about if Jared Goff, if we did a draft right now, I don't think anybody's picking Jared Goff at 6.
Man, no.
If these are the 10 quarterbacks that we got to draft and we got 10 people that come in and say, who's your first pick, second pick, third pick? Jared Goff is not even at 6, I don't believe. So I don't even think there's a lot to have to or needed to be said right here at Jared Goff at 6. Besides, this list just gets more ridiculous as we go on.
Let me ask you this, man, because see now this Jared Goff things opens up a hell of a door.
True.
Now with this list, is this list based on coming your career coming into the 25 season, or is this just a projected top 10 quarterbacks on what they're gonna do in 25?
This is Cam Newton's top 10 quarterback list based on how he feels of their body of work.
Man, Cam Newton can go to hell. Man,
How he feels that this quarterback could play the game, assess the game, and perform in the game. That's what I got from the Cam Newton list.
Let me say this, man, about this list, brother. And I hate to bash other brothers, man. I hate to do that.
I know
you
you
know, man. I'm
Cam
standing
don't
hard
mind it, though,
to. I'm standing hard to be a better upstanding brother in the community for the nation.
Gotcha.
But man, I don't feel comfortable taking Cam Newton's analysis on another quarterback because the analysis on him, he's still begging to get back in the league, and don't nobody think much of him. He ain't a top 32 or nothing.
That's true. Cause I was Cam.
Shit, he ain't a top 64. You know, hell, he ain't a backup. He ain't a clipboard holder. You know, that's how much they think of him. That's true. So man,
that's true.
Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna, man. Let him go out there and coach them kids on that 7 on 7, man.
7. Do your thing.
You know,
and
give
big
back
shout
to the
out
community.
To you, Cam, giving back to the community.
That's
big shout
dope.
out to you for that. For real, it's dope.
That's
This
dope.
list
That's
is-
solid.
This list is on dope to me. We got
It
Matthew
is.
Stafford at 5. Now,
Matt Stafford at 5.
Matt Stafford at 5, bro.
Why? Cause he got Adam down in there.
You know, I will say this. Matt Stafford I don't have him at 5, but I'll say this.
5.
Matt Stafford, definitely a quarterback in an organization at that point in time. Now, I might say Matt Stafford in place of Jared Goff, they might have been able to do a little bit more in that time. But truth is, Matt Stafford was there for his time. It didn't happen, and he won one Super Bowl, and now it's. I mean, I'm not taking. Matter of fact,
That man retiring after this year.
right, bro. That's literally where I was about to go. But even further than that, I'm about to look at our fantasy draft nation because we just had our fantasy draft.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm finna look and see where Matthew Stafford was taken in the draft. That's what I'm going to look and see. And then I'm going to look and see in how many leagues is he drafted. So Matthew Stafford was drafted, 99th. Matthew Stafford was drafted 99th in our league, and he is rostered by 17% at this point in time of the ESPN fantasy pool. And Cam Newton has him 5. Hey, Matt Stafford is a dog. He a baller. He will get out there. I think.
Ooh, I got it. I just figured it out.
What you got?
I just figured it out. My bad, bro. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No. Go. What you got?
I just figured it out. Cam, use a genius. Motherfucker, use a genius. I just figured it out. You did this to get folk talking to you. That's what you did. I figured it out.
It's all a clout chase?
Yeah, use a slick one. You a slick one. Yeah, that's why you did it, because you know this ain't right.
Right.
You know this.
You know what, bro? For this to be that egregious, you're probably right. And plus, it might lend us a little bit more not to say, Cam, what kind of bullshit you got going on here?
Right,
But
right. Cam know what he doing.
Right.
You know what he doing.
He
Half slick.
Got to get the clicks. Got to get the click, baby. Got to get in the A block.
Boy, Cameron Newton, boy, you slicker than well shit.
Hey, Yo Mosley and Jerry Jones for the A block, brother, is unparalleled to any, man.
Any.
So we don't now this is where I think the list starts getting a little bit more formidable and a little bit more respectable as we get to 4. Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow at 4. Okay. I'm with that. I'm with Joe Burrow at 4, but not Jalen Hurts on this list. To me, would be at 4, and you'd have to scoot Joe Burrow to 5. And this is why I'm going to say that because this is why I say this right now, because a lot of reasons why Joe Burrow gets the cachet that he gets is because he was one of the quarterbacks to beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game. And he's been living off that for a long time. Mm-hmm. So if this is the case, that you give Joe Burrow the cachet of being named amongst the top quarterbacks because he beat Patrick Mahomes, then I got a problem if you don't got Jalen Hurts on there, because Jalen Hurts beat the shit out of Patrick Mahomes in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Super Bowl.
Not only that, there's only 3 quarterbacks to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoff situation, and that's Joe Burrow, and I'm starting from least to best to me, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and, of course, the GOAT Tom Brady. That's it. So if you got Joe Burrow on here, somebody who is known and right now has firmly stamped a reputation of starting the season off losing. We're talking about losing.
Yeah.
1-3, 1-4 losing ass seasons to start the season off for the past 2 or 3 seasons actually, and has not been to a playoff game since 2022, I believe. Who in the fuck is validating this shit with Jalen Hurts not on the list? No ring, lost in a Super Bowl, has not been to a playoff game, and starts damn near every season off in a losing manner. And you got 2 of the top wide receivers in the fucking game. What are we talking about? What are we doing right now? So, yeah, I still, Joe Burrow top 5 to me, but if you got Joe Burrow at 4, Jalen Hurts should be on here and Joe Burrow should be moved to 5. That's my opinion.
He should be. I mean, the man that won a Super Bowl. He done been to 2.
Pro Bowl.
Brother.
Okay, so we just gonna move to number 3.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes.
Patty Mac.
Now maybe given off the way this is forming up, Cam Newton also is considering coming out of 2025. But I'm gonna still say that if that's the case, then I can agree with it. But if we talking about overall body of work, I can't agree with 1 to 3. To me, Patrick Mahomes would still have to be 1. But if we talking all coming off the back of 2025, Patrick Mahomes is he's not 1. Last season was not a very good statistical season, nor has Patrick Mahomes looked like his flyer self. And to me, honestly, he looked flustered. That defense, and the defense was getting the best of him. He really looked Jared Goff-esque in that Super Bowl game.
They was on his ass.
It was on his ass. so with Patrick Mahomes at 3, this is where I think we start having a little bit less pushback on Cam Newton's list right here. But then we start still saying Joe Burrow in the club and Jalen Hurts not. That shit's kind of crazy to me. All right. And let's not even talk about the best ability in football is availability.
That's it.
And Jalen Hurts is one of the most durable quarterbacks, if not football players, in the National Football League.
Man, Cameron Newton. What does it take the man to do to make the list?
Right.
I mean, what are you looking for out of Jalen?
That's a
just
good
exactly
question.
What are you looking for, man?
That's a good question.
I mean,
shit.
Damn, are we? I mean, what are we doing, man?
Right.
The man wins games and won the Super Bowl.
I mean, and bro, as we closing out on this day, even criticizing Jalen Hurts right now, bro, for not wearing a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, man. It's here we go with
Here we go with the
Here we go, and Jalen Hurts ain't win the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley won the Super Bowl. All this, man, shut up.
Now, if that's the case, Saquon New York John should have had multiple Super Bowls.
Ain't it, man? Ain't it?
Just saying.
It's
just, and you know what? I also compare that to people trying to shade Lamar Jackson, saying that Derrick Henry's the reason why he made it so far. People,
Man,
statistically,
stop it.
Derrick Henry had his best season when he got with Lamar Jackson. I don't know how you discount Lamar Jackson and big. It's like every time y'all try to find a way to down Lamar Jackson and these black quarterbacks, but all these white quarterbacks get these reasons of why. Well, you know, it was
excuse
this,
after
it was that.
excuse,
excuse after excuse. It's crazy, and that old thing of pitting two black players. And I'm glad Derrick Henry never went for the bait. Derrick Henry never went for the bait in that shit. They tried to bait him a few times on that, and he never went for it, bro. And I commend Derrick Henry on that, man, for sure. But I mean, keep it a buck. Lamar. Now I will say this about Lamar, bro. You got to do better in them situations. I think he gets tight in situations, and he puts pressure on himself where he locks himself. But if Lamar just goes out there and is Lamar without to give a fuck about all and sometimes Lamar, bro, you done it sometimes, but sometimes you might need to do it more. Call the play you feel on field at that point in time that need to be called, regardless of what the coach put into the game.
That's it.
Take that bag, bro. I know you got heavily criticized for it because you did it before, but, bro, you got to do it. You got to do it. There's no way in a situation you should be taking the ball out of Derrick Henry's hands as much as it was to just be throwing the ball around. And sometimes you make some bad throws, but what quarterback doesn't? It just when he happens to make them, he makes them at a very pivotal time where it's either you in or you out. You know, you don't have next week. That's the only thing about Lamar Jackson. I really hope he can get a Super Bowl before his time is up, because it would just to me, I know to him it would be everything, you know, to get he really should have been MVP this past season, even though I like Josh Allen. It was like they really tried to split it. Well, we don't want to give it to him a third time.
They did.
That's really what they did. He should have been a 3-time back-to-back MVP quarterback regardless, because y'all tried to knock him for not winning the Super Bowl. But who the fuck on here won the Super Bowl last year? Nobody won the Super Bowl on here last year. Nobody.
Cam Newton.
So only could be one. So, yeah, and then we get to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a baller. Josh Allen is stud. He be doing this. And I will say this. I think last season, just like C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen had a situation where you got two tight ends, but, we're not talking about them being, you know, Travis Kelce or Goddard or Trey McBride. We're talking about two young tight ends that are still coming up in the game. You don't really got a star wide receiver. You got Shakir. Your running back showed up. James Cook did show up for you. But Josh Allen was the component on that team that really was the change, the factor that pushed over, which Joe Burrow has not been. Joe Burrow has not been that factor where, okay, except for the one time they went to the Super Bowl and they lost, he hasn't been that factor in the situations to just really always push over. They start off losing. They trying a different thing this coming up preseason. So I just, this whole list right here to me, well, the list 4 back to 10 is bullshit to me.
It's all clickbait shit. It's shit that Cam did to get folk talking.
My brother Dan DeVille peeped it out, Cam.